radar dismantled. Was the public misled? U.S. military radar removed from Tobago. Have your say. And the Easter travel boost coming to break gridlock. Good evening, I am Renessa Ortiz and you're locked into Tobago Updates Television News for Tuesday, 17th March 2026. Now to our top story. Less than 3 months after U.S. forces intervened in Venezuela and detained President Nicolas Maduro, the much-debated military radar at A&R Robinson International Airport in Tobago has been removed, 5 days after Chief Secretary Farley Augustine confirmed the departure of U.S. troops. IDA political leader Dr. Denise Angus welcomed the dismantling, saying it highlights that the public was misled about the radar's actual purpose. Here are the details.
Political leader Dr. Denise Angus of the Innovative Democratic Alliance has welcomed the removal of the radar system and with the withdrawal of the troops from Tobago. She noted that the party had long expressed concerns, particularly about potential health risks to nearby residents, and is relieved that those threats have now been reduced.
The Innovative Democratic Alliance welcomes the dismantling of the radar and the departure of the troops from Tobago. From the beginning, we raised concerns about this installation, including the possible health impact on nearby communities, and we are relieved that those risks have now been reduced.
Angus highlighted that the removal of the radar does not end the issues but instead raises serious questions. She noted that while authorities claim it was installed to combat crime and drug trafficking from Venezuelan waters, its sudden removal prompts concern about whether those objectives were very truly achieved.
But the removal of the radar does not close the matter. It actually exposes what many people suspected from the start. So the population of Trinidad and Tobago was told that the radar was installed to fight crime and narcotics trafficking, particularly from Venezuelan waters. Yet today, the radar is suddenly gone, and the obvious question is, did Trinidad and Tobago win the war on drugs? Did the entire Caribbean narcotics trade suddenly disappear overnight?
She urged that the situation now forces the country to confront what she described as misinformation surrounding the radar's purpose in Tobago. She questioned its value, stating that instead of clear benefits, several sectors, including tourism, fisheries, and the wider economy, would negatively impact.
The country must now confront the confirmation that the government lied to the population about why this radar was installed in Tobago. The second issue is that, you may ask, what were the tangible benefits Tobago received? Well, we can say that instead of benefits, there were major injuries to the various sectors, including the tourism, fisheries, and the economy.
She emphasized that the radar episode underscores the need for transparency and accountability from the government, emphasizing that Tobago's communities and key economic sectors should never bear the cost of misleading decisions again. This is Aaliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
The controversial radar system in Tobago has now been dismantled, marking a significant shift in the island's recent security developments. The military-grade equipment previously installed at the A&R Robinson International Airport was removed just days after officials confirmed the departure of foreign troops. The radar had sparked public debate, with many residents questioning its purpose, cost, and impact on national sovereignty.
They're making noise about a radar system, which is, I deem it something great for Tobagonian, because how a radar operates, right? Though the signal doesn't come from on the land, more it does span out, right? And seeing that, I don't know if most people are aware of it, but the world is in a shaky position.
Bringing out too much laws these days, may want to say nothing about that to get in trouble. No, nobody.
But they move it today.
They move it?
Yes. They
Why?
move it today. Me and no.
So it was there for a specific reason and they are
Well, the
commercial
people and
reason.
them a make noise.
Huh?
The Tobago people,
I hope
them
that
a
they don't hear nothing to say.
this
I
and
have
that, yeah.
nothing to say.
Them a move and then they talk about the solar and then what the solar them a do. I mean, not nothing to say. No, thank you.
Planning a trip to Tobago for the Easter long weekend? You may be in luck. The Tobago House of Assembly says relief is coming for the perennially clogged air and sea bridges. Reporter Joel Greed-George has the details on the planned boost in capacity and the race to ready sporting facilities for the holiday influx. Keith Rowley is firing back at allegations from Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Visasa that drugs money funded the massive renovation. The former PNM leader took time today to clarify how the party funded the multi-million-dollar renovation of Balizé House, is calling the allegations malicious.
And we spent 15 years of my time aggressively putting together funds to be able to embark on the building of that new building.
Saying that the party utilized its 100,000 strong membership for support and a series of national raffles to raise $15 million, and that party's current headquarters functions as a business.
We got an income, considerable income, from renting out that car park. That new building that you see there are 2 floors of parking there. We see that as a potential income earner.
Rowley also revealed a strict internal financial policy where every PNM member who holds public office must give back to the party.
There's a standing requirement in the PNM where every office holder, prime minister, opposition leader, mayor, councillor, you pay 5% of your earnings to the party every month.
Rowley says this 5% deduction was critical when he became leader in 2010. At that time, the party reportedly owed a local bank $4 million following an election loss. He maintains the PNM operates as a transparent organism funded by its people. Up next, youth advocacy shifts policy to end university suffering.
Baby, when you whine on me. Somebody get the phone, the telephone. I get wet. I get wet. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there.
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve. Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope, and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through. Because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At DIGICEL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meats served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Thank you for staying with us. The financial burden on Tobago students studying in Trinidad is set to ease. After years of advocacy, the Tobago House of Assembly is rolling out a new youth development fund featuring monthly food cards and travel assistance. Joel Green George has the details on how the student-led initiative moved from a proposal to a policy.
For many Tobago students at university, the dream of a degree often comes with a side of survival. The starving student trope isn't just a cliche here. It is a lived reality involving expensive inter-island flights and rising grocery bills. But Luke Trim, president of the Tobago Students Association, says the days of banning your belly are coming to an end.
The lived realities Tobago students pursuing tertiary-level education on the island of Trinidad face, whether it's basic necessities such as food and groceries, and also the recurring and measurable economic burden on both students and their families and parents when it comes down to the inter-island travel dimension.
Born from a 2023 meeting with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, the plan targets two pillars: grocery assistance and travel support. With roughly 430 Tobago students in tertiary education, the TSA reports some required up to 50,000 TT dollars in bursaries last year to stay afloat. Trim says this fund finally rejects the culture of suffering.
I think as the new generation, we have rejected that practice. And so we welcome the Youth Development Fund. Matter of fact, on the 12th of March of 2026, we would have submitted a request for a memorandum of understanding to be entered into between the Tobago Students Association and also the Division of Youth Empowerment and Sports.
While the Division of Youth Empowerment and Sports is currently setting up the administrative committee, the TSA is pushing for a seat at the table to ensure the rollout is practical.
So Secretary Denoon, Mr. Keegan Denoon, would have explained in the meeting sometime on Sunday, that THE press briefing, that a committee is currently in the setting up stage, and we understand and appreciate that after that committee is established, they will be receiving applications to be reviewed so that by the new semester in September, we can expect students to start accessing those resources. At this time, when I chatted with the executive of the association, we are just hoping that at minimum, at least one executive member, at least two executive members from the Tobago Students Association can be appointed to that committee, because at the end of the day, you cannot be making policy and resources for university students without university students.
Applications are expected to be reviewed in time for the September 2026 semester. For those on the ground, it is more than just a policy for a food card. It is a tangible result of youth advocacy. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
Can Tobago reclaim its title as the breadbasket of the region? Agriculture enthusiast Crystal Phillips is challenging the current status quo, questioning why the island has moved away from its roots as a primary supplier of ground provisions. In recent years, Tobago has been plagued by inconsistent supply and skyrocketing prices for essential produce, a sharp departure from its historical legacy of self-sufficiency. Phillips argues that a return to large-scale production is the only way to stabilize local markets and shield households from the rising costs of imported food.
I think it's more like, why not? Like, why can't we get back to that place? Tobago has land and willing, hardworking people with good soil. Why can't we get back to the place? What keeping us from getting back to the place? Right? Because we are Caribbean people. We like eating a particular type of thing. We love big ground provision. We love certain produce. And it grows good in Tobago. Like, most of my provision comes from Tobago.
Changes in sourcing, logistics, and market management have disrupted that stability, leaving gaps in Tobago's food system. Phillips realizes that reviving a direct relationship with the primary supplier could restore consistency, reduce costs, and strengthen the local agricultural sector. She emphasizes that the issue is not about equipment or farmer effort, but about creating a coordinated, sustainable supply chain that works for everyone. For many in the agricultural sector, the barrier to growth isn't a lack of hard work, it's a lack of the right tools. In 2014, Crystal Phillips, owner of Your Equipment Supplies, noticed a pattern. Producers often made do with whatever was available, revealing gaps in local supply, planning, and technical support in agriculture. Here are the details.
Crystal Phillips, owner of Your Equipment Supplies, revealed in 2014 that farmers and small processors often struggle to find the right tools locally. She noted a clear pattern. Many improvise with available equipment rather than sourcing the correct items, highlighting a persistent gap in agricultural supply accessibility.
In 2014, I started it after seeing a pattern. It was a pattern of farmers or even small processors, they would be looking for certain items and they wouldn't be able to get it locally. Or when they look locally, they can't get the right match to working with what they could get, or they just want to make this particular thing work. They're just making do with what's available versus getting the correct thing.
Phillips explained that the issue wasn't poor quality machines or lazy producers. The equipment was just one part of a larger system. Without planning, strategy, technical support, or proper workflow, success was limited. That experience transformed how she approached her business, emphasizing holistic solutions for farmers and processors.
The problem was They buy the machine, and it's not because it's a bad machine and sitting in the corner, and it's not because the customer or the farmer or the producer not hardworking. The issue was the equipment was just one part of a bigger system that was missing. You know, it had no workflow, no planning, no packaging, no strategy, you know, no technical support. And that experience changed how I worked overall.
Her experience underscores the importance of supporting farmers and processors with more than just equipment. Success requires a complete system, including planning, strategy, and technical guidance. This holistic approach has since shaped how she runs your equipment supplies, ensuring clients get the tools and support they need to thrive. This is Aaliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Planning a trip to Tobago for the Easter long weekend? You may be in luck. The Tobago House of Assembly says relief is coming for the perennially clogged air and sea bridges. Reporter Joel Green George has the details on the planned boost in capacity and the race to ready sporting facilities for the holiday influx.
With Easter less than 2 weeks away, the scramble for seats to Tobago has left many passengers stranded. However, Secretary of Youth Empowerment and Sport, Keegan Dinoon, says the central government is stepping in to bridge the gap.
Thankfully, with the relationship that we have with central government, they have given their commitment to ensuring that additional flights would be made available. We are currently in the process of seeing how best we can have a jet service the air bridge during that period.
On the sea bridge, the focus is on reliability. Repairs are currently being fast-tracked for the Buku Reef and the TNT Spirit. If those vessels aren't ready, the Galleon's Passage is on standby to take up the slack. While travel is the priority for visitors, the division is also rushing to complete $13 million worth of upgrades to key sporting venues. The Mount Pleasant Sporting Facility is already prepared to host the 51st annual Sports and Family Day, while the Shore Park facility is nearing the finish line.
It has unfortunately taken a bit longer than anticipated, but on my last site visit there, the works down there are about 85% complete.
Beyond the holiday, Dinoon announced other facilities that have already been approved and earmarked for upgrades and renovations.
So upcoming projects that we have already approved would be upgrades to the Table Piece facility. Also, we have upgrades coming to the Blackrock Hardcourt facility, and we also have some significant upgrades coming to the Goodwood Hardcourt facility as well, just to name the 3 that we are engaging in this month. On the stream, we have significant upgrades to all our facilities. We are putting together a team here at the division to ensure that we are able to react a bit faster and maintain the grounds a lot better. We would have started the process of going to all the sporting facilities that we have in the Tobago East.
As the island prepares for its busiest season, the THA is promising better communication to prevent the last-minute booking chaos that often plagues the tourism sector. I'm Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
The news will continue in a moment, but why wait? You can follow every story, every update all the time. Join the conversation and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. Don't miss a beat, we'll be right back.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Welcome back. A competitive clash unfolded in the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association Youth League as TJs and Sides battled to a 1-1 draw at the Dwight York Stadium. Both teams showed early intent, pressing high and moving the ball with purpose in search of an opening goal. TJs struck first, capitalizing on a defensive lapse midway through the first half to slot home a well-taken finish, giving them a narrow advantage heading into the break. Sides responded with renewed energy in the second half, controlling possession and creating several chances. Their persistence paid off when they found the equalizer, finishing off a flowing move that left the TJ's defense exposed. The remainder of the match saw end-to-end action, with both sides pushing for a winner. However, disciplined defending and strong goalkeeping ensured the scoreline remained level. In the end, the draw was a fair reflection of an evenly contested encounter, with both teams earning a point in an exciting Youth League fixture. Tobago bids a final farewell to a national hero. Iman Legal, the island's last surviving World War II veteran, has passed away at the age of 99. Legal, who served with the Caribbean Forces, was a regular fixture at annual Remembrance Day ceremonies. His death marks the end of an era for the local military fraternity. Joel Green George has this story.
For decades, the wreath-laying ceremony at James Park in Scarborough was centered around one man. Iman Legal stood as a living bridge to a global conflict that shaped the modern world. Today, that bridge is gone. Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Falia Gustin joined the community in mourning, noting the deep void left by Legal's absence.
We're all hopeful that we will make it to 100. We look forward every year when we do the refilling ceremony to see him at James Park.
Legal was one of approximately 10,000 volunteers from the Caribbean who joined the British war effort between 1939 and 1945. He served as part of the South Caribbean Force, contributing to the Allied victory. Augustine says Legal's legacy is defined by his commitment to global stability.
But he lived a fruitful, a productive life. He contributed to world peace. But many people can say they contributed to world peace in that regard.
The veteran's death comes just months shy of his 100th birthday. Members of the Trinidad and Tobago Legions of the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League say they are coordinating with family to ensure he receives full military honors. The Chief Secretary confirmed that the THA is already in contact with the family.
We express condolences to his family. We will be there for the family. Whatever way we can to support. In fact, we have already reached out. I reached out to some relatives this morning and I asked them to indicate how we may be of assistance.
As Tobago prepares for the funeral, the island reflects on the service of a man who remained a symbol of discipline and patriotism until his last days.
It's ironic that he's passing at a time when yet another war is happening, and who knows whether we'll be plunged into another world war or not. But we are grateful that people, men and women like him, that they were able to fight on, to fight on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago and the Commonwealth.
Reporting for Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
Drivers in Trinidad and Tobago now have more time to renew their permits. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has extended the early renewal period. You can now renew your driver's license up to 3 months before it expires. Previously, drivers could only renew 1 month ahead of the expiration date. The government approved this change through an amendment to the motor vehicle regulations. This new rule officially took effect yesterday, March 16th. Officials say the goal is to improve service efficiency at licensing offices. The change should also reduce long lines caused by last-minute renewals. It offers more convenience for thousands of motorists across the country. Legal Notice number 48 of 2026 makes the new 3-month window official. The ministry says it remains committed to better service delivery for all citizens. Check your permit expiration date soon to take advantage of the extra time. Caribbean Airlines is issuing a fresh warning for passengers headed to the United States. The carrier says ongoing operational demands at U.S. airports are causing major delays. Travelers should now arrive at the airport at least 4 hours before departure. This extra time is needed for checking and security screening. The airline says processing times are currently much longer than usual. Check-in counters for these international flights will open 4 hours before takeoff. However, staff will close the bag drop exactly 1 hour before the flight leaves. Missing this window could mean losing your seat on the aircraft. The advisory applies to all Caribbean Airlines destinations within the United States. Passengers are encouraged to check their flight status online before heading to the terminal. The weather report when we return.
Baby, when you whine on me. Somebody get the phone, the telephone. I get wet.
Come in. Long time I see you, Jill. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad. Your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education says preparations for the 2026 secondary entrance assessment are fully mobilized, with approximately 18,000 students across the nation will sit the exam this year. The ministry is coordinating with several divisions to ensure a secure environment. Primary school teachers will serve as voluntary invigilators and center supervisors. Special arrangements are also in place for students requiring additional support. Staff from the Student Support Services Division will manage these concessions. The ministry aims to maintain the integrity of the national assessment process. In Tobago Education Secretary Orlando Kerr says local operations are progressing well. Kerr tells Tobago Updates his team is preparing a formal press briefing. That upcoming session will provide the public with more details on educational developments. Officials say they remain committed to a calm and professionally managed exam. Now for a look at the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight will be mostly fair and breezy despite the brisk isolated shower. The minimum temperature is forecast to be around 23 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 24 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Tomorrow will be mostly fair, hazy, and breezy or windy despite brisk isolated showers. Winds can gust at times, especially near showers. A mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere, and sensitive persons should take the necessary precautions. The maximum temperature tomorrow is expected to reach around 31 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 30 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Seas will be rough, with waves reaching 3 meters in open waters and up to 2 meters and choppy in sheltered areas. A hazardous seas alert yellow level remains in effect. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:11 and sunset at 6:16. And that's all the time we have for tonight's Tobago Updates news. Have a great night, and let's recap the headlines. Tobago radar dismantled. Was the public misled? U.S. military radar removed from Tobago. Have your say. And the Easter travel boost coming to break gridlock.